Well, g'day guys, I'm Kyle. Welcome to Crystal Cove Prospecting. Beautiful amethyst piece. Well, g'day guys. On today's video, we're doing 6 mines in 6 hours. 1 hour to get to and mine each mine before we're moving on to the next one. Starting at David's Amethyst mine behind me and moving across the ridge. Time is now 11. Let's go. Well, we're 6 minutes in, and on my way to David's Amethyst mine, I have stumbled across this. It's very extensive. Lots of people have dug here. Lots of quartz on the surface. Well, that gives me 55 of them. Now 53. That gives me 53 minutes to mine this. Let's see how we go. Lots of quartz on the surface here, and some of it's very crystally. Look at that. Very crystally. Almost a little plate cluster there. Yes. Yes, I think... I don't know what they were chasing there, but it seems to go across the whole ridge line here. So, they've tried to dig up above it there. And that looks like a good backfilled spot. That is very recent. This is semi-recent. And this is just decayed. So I'm thinking the vein might actually go here because I've got some pegmatite over there. So let's head this way and see how we go. Well, I followed it across and we have our first vug. Look at this. How cool is that? What a beautiful little piece. And I have a rock chisel. I reckon I'm going to take that piece home with me. That is a perfect vug formed in quartz. Smoky quartz too. Awesome. Let's get to work. Alright, let's get to work. You like to chisel? That's a chisel. Wonder why this is still up here now. Right, cut bone with that. I'll cut through the bone with that one. Right. There. See that? There you have it, cluster. Rest I can clean up at home. Well, that took us about 18 minutes to break that cluster out. But I saw it. It's low-hanging fruit. I can see why no one else did it. But we'll take it, because the idea is to get crystals from each and every mine site we go to today. We got 25 minutes to go, and I've hit pegmatite down there, which means there's 2 bands. There's a band here and there's a band up there, which means this band is going to be shooting out down there, which matches those diggings. So I'm literally giving myself an hour less walking time, so maybe 45 minutes to work out a mine and to get something out of it. I'm going to hammer at this for another 5 to 8 minutes. If I can't get through the pegmatite vein here, I'm going to have to go below it and just see if I can get anything in the float. I'm just flat out. I'll just keep uncovering big quartz rocks, so backfill and move further down, I reckon. So it looks like this is where the pegmatite vein's actually shedding out onto, down here. It doesn't look like they're digging deep. It looks like they're digging into the wall. From the level I'm at there, yeah, this makes sense. It's in line. I'm not seeing any little crystals on the ground. Whilst I've absolutely got quartz, I do not have any crystal points. Oh, hold on, what's that? That's the first one. Okay. Very bleached. That's the first one. And this tailing's here, so it came from there. It needs to be a little bit lower. This is all their waste rock. Big chunks of quartz. That one there has some crystals in it, but they're bleached. Some crystals in that one too. Okay, 15 minutes here, backfill, and then move on. Well, 10 minutes to go, and I still haven't found any more than that one bleach point and that one cluster that I knocked off the rock. So, I'll show you what I'm working in, but it's not great. So I'm working in here. There is a decayed pegmatite layer here, and there's definitely quartz through it, but the quartz isn't making points. So you can see from this and this, there's quartz in it, but it's just that, it's just quartz. There's no crystal to it, it's just a piece of quartz. Bit of mica on it. There is a pegmatite vein here. There's a feldspar decaying out. So this is, yeah, there's a good example of it. Let it go. There. It's a good example of feldspar. Very chalky. Oh, it's pegmatite because it's got the mica and the quartz in it. So that's the vein there. But there are no crystals on this vein. But if I have more time, that is the vein that I'd follow because it will pocket. 100% that vein will pocket. No. False alarm. It's like part of a point and then it fractures away. And I'm pretty well out of time. Yeah, look at that. Well, 5 minutes left. Enough time to backfill, get all the stuff on my back and head off to David's Amethyst mine. Hole backfilled, now moving on to the next mine, which shall be David's Amethyst mine. And this is the path that goes to David's Amethyst mine, and parks have dragged all the dead trees in the world over it and put a boulder up there to stop people driving to it. A bit of information about David's Amethyst mine. It was founded in the 60s and 70s, and when they started mining here, they were pulling out amethyst scepters the size of footballs. It was on private property, and you'll actually find the location as a mineral mine on GeoVix. It's the starting point for most prospectors around here that are into crystals. A tree fell down. Well, I'm glad I wasn't under it. It's a starting point for a lot of prospectors that are into crystals. So in the 70s it was privately owned, then it was open to the public for a fee, so you could pay a small fee and mine there. Then it was closed down entirely and eventually sold back to the state government, I think in the early 2000s, maybe late 90s. And then sometime in about 2010 to 2015, someone got a backhoe down here to try and dig it up again, and that's why they blocked off all the paths going down there, put boulders on it, put bollards in it. Since then, a few people have tried to get four-wheel drives down here, but that's why they blocked all the tracks. Anyway, they were digging up amethyst scepters the size of footballs, but they were deep. Like, we're talking 5, 6, 10 meters deep, digging with earth-moving machinery. So when we go to David's Amethyst mine, we are literally going through the tailings of the tailings. And you'll still find a couple of amethyst points here or there, and some smokies as well. It's normally a good first spot for prospectors in the area, because it's got very obvious veins running through it. Well, had very obvious veins running through it. And as you dig down, you can uncover the backfill, see exactly what pegmatite looks like. And yeah, a little bit of history. Here we are at David's Amethyst mine. Someone's gone to town here. There's a little cluster just sitting there. Has just rained, so I'll do some specking before I get into any digging. But yeah, David's Amethyst mine. This whole area was all dug up. Hence there being mostly just little trees. And look, relics of the future. Well, the time is 12:05. So I've got 55 minutes to dig on this mine, backfill my diggings, find whatever I can, and move on to the next one. So we're going to start with specking, and then we'll go into some digging. And straight off the bat, put my shovel down. There's one. Look at that. Easy as that. This mine, you think 70s, so what, we're 50 years ago, 55 years ago? And there's still pieces up here. It means it was a very, very rich mine. And I know from personal experience, when you hit a very rich mine, you take the best. You don't necessarily have the room or even the will just to go through the seconds and thirds. They just kind of get thrown at your mate. But you take the best. And for there to be proper points just sitting on the surface, I reckon they did pretty damn good here. In fact, I know they did pretty good because there is a specimen from here in the Melbourne Museum. So if you go through just after it rains, because it rained a lot last night and yesterday, it's the perfect time to look for them. Because all that puffed up dirt settles and the crystals will be left exposed, just like this. One crystal. Very degraded crystal. In fact, that can sit there. It's not even worth taking home for seconds. But yeah, there's another one there. All broken, that's just a broken tip. There's one there, I can see its reflection. Again, very bleached, very broken. It's not worth it. They don't look like they've been moved. Maybe up there. Now this has been dug out quite significantly over a very long period of time with heavy machinery. Damn! People are going nuts. Anyway, I'm going to have a bit of a speck on the surface, see if I can't find anything. Then I'll grab the gear, have a bit of a scratch, backfill and move on. Time is now 12:11. That gives me 49 minutes. Well, it's not an amethyst, but it's a very, very good point. Just found specking the dirt there. And a necklace quality smoky that was just sitting in the dirt here. Beautiful smoky that I can turn into a necklace point. Another one there. It's just a, oh no, there's a point. No, it's a broken stem. There's a little one over there too. Tiny things. These would have been falling, there's one there too. These would have been falling through people's sieves. That's why I'm finding so many in one place. Yeah. There's another one. Time to go get the gear and have a scratch. Come back up to the first hole. Scratched around. That is a very broken, very big clustery piece. I don't think I'm taking that home with me. There's plenty of other pieces around here though that give me encouragement. Anyway, I'm going to just start working this tailings area here and we'll see what we can find. So a quick update, I'm just going through the tailings here and pulling out some broken but okay crystals. Yeah. So I'm just laying back in a hole and I'm just going to keep going through the tailings. Well, that's my 1 hour up at David's Amethyst mine. It's got some very interesting crystals. Very bleached ones in there. Some broken ones in there. There is one good, really good point in there, somewhere there. So one rather exceptional point. These are going to go on the top of my pack to keep them separate. We'll give them a clean up at home. And yeah, that's what I got from an hour at David's Amethyst mine. No amethyst, unfortunately, or at least none that I can see. Some clear and some good smokies, though. And just like that, 2 hours, 2 mines, and we're off to the next one. The mine we're heading to now is one that Gadsy and Chris took me to a long time ago. I haven't pin dropped it, so it's all relying on memory, but I know it's this way. And if we find one along the way, then beautiful. And after that mine, we have to go for an explore. Well, the time's 1:08, so about 6 minutes of walking, and I've found this. It's a dugout next to a lot of quartz, and there's crystals. I can see the crystals in the surface. So, I can see the mine that we're meant to be at. It's over there. I'm going to, 1 hour at each mine. What defines a mine? I'll show you guys. So this is what I found. Alright, pretty cool. There's some little smokies on top. There's another hole here, there's another hole there, and then there's a lot of workings. You can just see them up there, and that's where Chris and Gadsy took me. So is this the same as that? It's like maybe 50 meters up, and I can see it. I'm going to say yes, and I'm going to start here. So 51 minutes here, here, there, and there. Just specking the surface is beautiful little smoky. Just sitting there. We'll see what else is around here. Some interesting bugs in the quartz. Yeah, I reckon they're onto something here. Well, I found a little vug that goes down into the quartz, and it's producing okay points. Not fantastic, but they're okay, and they're coming from down there. Well, it's pretty slow going, but every so often a really good point turns up. Like that was in my waist rock up here, which means I held it and threw it, and then only going back through it did I notice it. Well, we got far less crystals than what we did at David's Amethyst mine, but better quality ones. A couple of really good ones there, and a couple of gem ones as well. We've got about 15 minutes left, so I'm going to do some backfilling, have a drink of water, and then we'll head off to our next site. Same general area as the mine Chris and Gadsy took me to. Look at that for a quartz vein. Mica through it. That is damn good. It runs that way. Back down that way. Should be digging at the base of this. Look at that, forming crystals and everything. This is going to be a future dig site for me for sure. I'm going to spot drop it and come back here at some point. Well, this was the mine I was meant to be going to before I got distracted by quartz and other little test holes that I found crystals at. So I'm going to give myself a full hour here. I'm going to call the other one a hour of adventure. So I did want to spend an hour at each mine site that I know of. It's been a long time since I've been up here. Someone's got a bloody mat. You can't see. Someone's got a mat over there. I don't know what they're doing. Maybe neon. There are crystals all over the ground here. So we're going to do some specking here. I've got till 5. I'm now 3 hours in. Yep, 3 hours in, and this is probably the 4th mine that I've been on. Yeah, first one was on the way to David's Amethyst mine, one on the way to this one. Then I'm going to head for my top mine, which is that way, many a meter. If there's one on there, then that's cool. But I do want to finish at my Morion spot, which is still some ways to go that way. So yeah, let's have a scratch around here and see what this produces. Well, I spent 20 minutes going around and just picking up the quartz on the ground. Now I'm actually having a look at where the last person in this mine stopped digging, and they're on a pegmatite vein. Whether it's pinched out or not, we don't know, but I'm willing to spend a little bit of time here excavating it just to see if it has or hasn't. I'll show you what I'm looking at. So this here is the pegmatite vein. It's decomposing, but it has quartz through it. Now some of the quartz is the right quartz. Most of it isn't. Occasionally you do get the right quartz, the actual smoky. So I'm going to punch into this pegmatite vein here and see if it produces anything bigger than that. Well, the answer is yes, the pegmatite vein does hold decent quartz, but also no, this actual smoky band of proper crystal is very thin, same as it is at my Morion spot, and I don't have the time to chase this in today. So you see it up here, it's all through it. Anyway, I do not have the time to chase a vein this thick into the side of a mountain today. So we'll have to come back to this spot. But nonetheless, I'll show you what we have got from it. So I will show you guys what I have got from this spot. I just don't have the time, 2:30, to be able to really plunder into this, follow the vein until it pockets out to some good crystals. I may be an inch away from it, I may be 3 feet away from it, and I don't know that until I hit it. Hell, it may not pocket out at all. It may have already done it and now it's just going to go in slowly, slowly, slowly over meters and just pinch out to nothing. I do not have the time to do that today. But I will show you guys what I got specking off the surface. So this is what I got just specking off the surface. Some nice quartz points, even though they're a bit bleached. There's one particularly good one there. A nice little cluster. They're going to go in the main pocket of my bag. Once again, I don't have the time to really have a crack at this, but that is a massive band of quartz. Where does it meet the granite up there? That's hectic. I will be coming back to you at some point. That is a really good example of pegmatite. I'm following a quartz band. It goes up that way. I'm going to go around in front of it. So the quartz band comes down from up there, comes through here, and goes up that way. Interesting. So there's more dig sites up there as well. Well, I'm well out of the other area now, and I'm tracking another quartz vein up. This is going to be my 4th mine site. Once I find a place to dig, I'll show you what I'm looking at. Quartz, quartz, quartz. The vein from over there cuts through and up. And look at that. I didn't even know this was here. Only a small work site, but yes. Looks like some good quartz coming out of it. That's been backfilled, kind of. Okay. Very interesting. Given I spent like an hour and a half at the other side, I'm only going to spend half an hour here. That way we're back on even. And we'll see how we go. I'll show you anything as I find it. I've taken my pack off because there are crystals just on the ground here. Not great quality, but they're there. That one can stay there. That one can stay there. So at one point, I don't know how deep they dug, but by the tailings pile it wasn't overly deep. And that's a test hole. And there's the pegmatite. Pegmatite runs up here. So they've tried to dig in under the peg. And there's the band of quartz resurfacing. I didn't see that. That is the band of quartz in the pegmatite. Big band. Decomposing granite, quartz. There it is, pegmatite. Right, I can see why they dug here. Only very shallow. Looks like there's another one up there too. Well, we have 20 minutes to have a scratch around here and see what we can come up with. Well, I spent 20 minutes around here for 3 points. Make that, oh no, still 3. 3 points. So, I'm off to the next mine. I have absolutely lost count in how many mines now. It was meant to be 1 per hour, but then I stopped at like 3 little ones, including this one. I don't have to count this up at home, but it's almost 3. Time to go to the next one. Now that is a huge fault line. And look at the uplift right there. In theory, digging somewhere like there may be okay. Now that is what you call pegmatite, and there's a fault line there, and it looks like someone's tried to dig here. That is a huge fault of pegmatite. I am going to have a dig here. Check that out for a piece of pegmatite with quartz on it. That's insane. There's the mica, you can see it on my finger. There's the mica. It's insane. In theory, right there should be the best place to dig. Well, the pegmatite's certainly there. I've come down a little bit. There was a hole up there that looks suspiciously like a snake hole, and I dropped a crystal down it. So I'm now -1 crystal for this mine site. It fell out of my pocket and went bloop, bloop, bloop. And I'm like, hey, I'm not putting my hand down there. It's not got good quartz. It's got quartz in it, but it doesn't have big quartz, and it's very sporadic. There's a nice piece of mica there. This is pegmatite, except the quartz aren't producing crystals. I know I've given myself an hour here, but I don't think I'll need an hour to know that this has potential, but I just haven't found where. So I'm going to move on. Carry on, carry on. This can just be a tester. So I've only spent 15 minutes here, so it's going to take away from the other mine, but oh well, is what it is. I really hate pine forests, but this goat path is leading me straight into one. And I'm still seeing quartz on the ground. Hate pine forests. There's a really cool view too. Well, this was meant to be the 5th mine we went to. Turned into the 7th mine we went to. So I only have 35 minutes here. You know it, you love it. It's the Top Hill mine. So, with the 35 minutes I've got, I'm going to spend 5 minutes recovering, and then I'm just going to go pick through my tailings. Someone's dug a really big hole there. But yes, I'm going to go pick through the tailings, pull out the pan, get this, and then I'll head further along to the Morion spot. Just specking away. Looky. Whoop. I gotta stop doing that. There's like the only one that's left from that other spot, but there we go. Beautiful. They can go in together. Alright. Oh, there's one. Look at that. Bit crusty, but not terrible. I'm just going to spend 20 minutes emu bobbing, I think. And this is why we come up and spec just after it rained. Look at that beautiful amethyst piece. Oh, it's so beautiful. Just sitting there. Oh, that's not a bad one either, actually. It's not amethyst, but yeah. It's all just sitting here. There's a nice smoky. And that's what we've got so far, just specking. And there's one right there. Nope, that's a smoky. Oh, I love it. It's so beautiful. So clean, so clear. I might set you guys up to watch me, because I'm literally just looking down picking one up. Might have a hint of purple in it. No. Bit of iron in it. Oh, I've cut myself. Well, I might set you guys up so you guys can watch me, and if I find anything cool, I can show you guys as I'm finding it. Yeah, all I'm doing is specking the surface here. I'm not going hell for leather. I'm not sieving it. I'm just specking it, letting the rain do the hard work. Well, I found the goods. That's really cool. There's a lot of them down there. Little plate cluster. Beautiful little cluster. Another little one. Well, that's 4. I have to move on to my last mine of the day. But I think we did pretty good here. Just all the specking I've done. Well, with the backpack that weighs significantly more than what it did when I left off this morning, let's head to our 7th and final mine for the day. Spend an hour there, hopefully, maybe get a Morion point, and then walk out. Home time. Clean up the crystals, make sure I've divided them correctly, and show what 6 hours and 6 mines will do. Well, the time is 4:17 and I'm at my final mine. Oh, gonna enjoy this one. Get to sit down a bit, hopefully. Well, they're not very big, but we found some Morion. Eventually. Right there in the pegmatite vein. It's in a very sketchy spot with this above it, that below it, and the vein being so small. That is why I don't have my head in there. And I shall pick at it from the outside. Quartz, but the wrong quartz. It was in the pocket, and the pocket just vanished on me. That deposit just petered out to nothing. Like 4 crystals out of it. Don't know where it went. It's gone. Well, the one direction I wasn't counting on the vein going was up, but that is a beautiful piece of pegmatite, and it's going up, and it looks like there's another piece of quartz right at the back there. It's smoky quartz, but it's not crystallized, although that piece might be. No. And it goes up into a pocket, like a void up here. There we go, look at that. Beautiful piece of smoky quartz, but again, not crystallized. It goes up. No wonder I couldn't find it down there, because it's going up. Right, I'm going to do some more digging, and I'll turn you guys back on when I excavate that bit. Well, the vein just went into quartz. Smoky quartz kind of went like this. And then died. But I did get 2 or 3 small Morion points out of it, so that'll do me. Now I've got to do some backfilling, and I'll see you guys at home after I clean up the crystals.